huge fan of the arts, whether it's the spoken word, whether it's the written word, whether it's the performing arts, whether it's the visual arts. What I find absolutely amazing is when you see different mediums that collide.
Yes.
There's a point to this. So I encourage you, invite all of you to come to your office, your mayor's office in Tallahassee. And what you'll learn real quick is that my wife and I love to collect art, especially local art. And when you come to the mayor's office, everything that I have in there are local artists. The new edition right here. Katie presented me with the book that's going to be going on the table right when you walk in.
Oh, right.
Sitting right there. So everybody in Tallahassee that comes in will see it. So I do love poetry. I love all poetry. I don't write poetry, but I've been encouraged to start writing, and maybe I will. It would be quite interesting based on some of the experiences and materials I've collected over the years, but nonetheless. But I love poetry. I love all types of poetry. I'm actually going through a very basic form, if you think, now that I have 2 young boys in elementary school. So it's the Shel Silversteins all over again. It's the Dr. Seuss's all over again. And the things that we grew up with that are so lighthearted. And not only am I watching this through their eyes, but also getting to relive this. Part of it is also the memories of my childhood growing up. My mother's a retired first grade teacher. My father was a professor at Florida State as well. And so I grew up in one of those households that really embraced it. When you walk into your mayor's office, you will see a painting on the wall. And it's done by one of my dear friends here in Tallahassee. His name is Jake Kiker. You've never heard of him. He's an attorney. He's not a painter that sets up at the chain of parks or anything like that. I call him a personal painter, if you will. He doesn't sell his paintings or anything. But I have 2 Kikers, one at home and now one in the office, in the mayor's office. And he is one of my best friends. He's an abstract painter, and I absolutely love his work. I'm encouraging him to actually do a gallery show or something. So when I got into the office, and by the way, full disclosure, I personally pay for everything in my office. Okay, so none of these were. And Katie, I will pay for this book as well, by the way. But so I asked him. I said, I'd like to commission a piece for the mayor's office because I love your work. You know me. You know my art. You know me. Come in. So he came in one day and looked at all the colors and looked at what we had in there, and then he just showed up 5 months later with this incredible painting. And it's this incredible painting where he took an old map of the city of Tallahassee, the planning map. He painted over it, very abstract, brilliant colors. And then he superimposed this poem on top of it. So when you come into my office, this poem is basically what is hanging on the wall. Because, see, I love everything city. This is what I've studied. Both my master's degrees are in municipal governance. I studied urban regional planning in London at the London School of Economics. So I've studied American planning, I've studied Western European planning, and specifically the essence of a city. So your experience, Kermit, growing up in the Panhandle, in small municipalities, and living now in Apalachicola, what makes your city the city? And every community has this conversation, whether you are as big as Tallahassee. And by the way, folks, we are a large city in the state of Florida. Out of 412 municipalities, the average population is actually about 12,000. We are a city of 190,000. People have different experiences. It's a living, breathing thing, the city, right? So this poem is by Walt Whitman, and it is called The Great City. And when you walk in, this is the painting that's up. Now, I certainly hope nobody calls or any text messages come in because it's going to mess up my reading here. And how appropriate too, since we just celebrated Walt Whitman's 200th birthday.
Yes.
Absolutely. So
Airplane mode is all I can say.
there we go. I'm gonna take my chances. I'm feeling.
Okay.
I got good vibes right now.
There you go.
Feeling good. It's called The Great City by Walt Whitman. The place where a great city stands is not the place of stretched wharves, docks, manufactures, deposits of produce merely. Not the place of ceaseless salutes of the newcomers or the anchor lifters of the departing. Nor the place of the tallest or the costliest buildings or shops selling goods from the rest of the earth. Nor the place of the best libraries and schools. Nor the place where money is plenteest. Nor the place of the most numerous population. Where the city stands with the brawniest breed of orators or bards, Where the city stands is the beloved by these, and those them in return and understands them. Where no monuments exist to heroes, but in the common words and deeds. Where thrift is in its place, and prudence is in its place. Where the men and women think lightly of the laws. Where the slave ceases, and the master of slaves ceases. Where the populace rise at once against the never-ending audacity of elected persons. Where fierce men and women pour forth as the sea to the whistle of death pours in its sweeping and unripped waves. Where outside authority enters always after the precedence of inside authority. Where the citizen is always the head and ideal, and president, mayor, governor, and whatnot are agents for pay. Where children are taught to be the laws to themselves and to depend on themselves. Where equanimity is illustrated in affairs. Where speculations on the soul are encouraged. Where women walk in public processions in the streets, the same as the men. Where they enter the public assembly and take places, the same as the men. Where the city of the faithfulest friends stand. Where the city of the cleanliness of the sexes stand. Where the city of the healthiest fathers stand. Where the city of the best-bodied mothers stand. There, the great city stands.
Yeah.